Good evening, everyone. Whether it's late 9 p.m. here in the East Coast or if you're a little earlier out west, welcome to our monthly Flytrippers Travel Rewards video. So how this works, just for those who might be joining us for the first time, we're Flytrippers. We help you travel for less. And every month we do a monthly video, 2 monthly videos to help you with a live Q&A, but also with a quick presentation at the beginning. The first one is on travel rewards, the best way to travel for less, everything related to points. That's tonight. That's what we're doing. We'll share the best deals of the month at the beginning so that every month when you're due for a big welcome bonus, need a new card, you know which ones are the best. And then in about 10 minutes, we'll do a Q&A to help you with that, whatever you have in terms of questions with regards to points and travel rewards. So I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Andrew. I'm one of the 2 co-founders of Flytrippers. The other is in Europe right now, so he's sleeping, as you can probably imagine, with the time zone difference. My new colleague, Vince, will be joining me a little later once we're at the Q&A portion if you have any questions. And yeah, that's pretty much. I did mention tonight is for travel rewards. Tomorrow, same time. The questions are wide open, so anything related to travel, we do that separately to try to be able to, kind of separate all this from one another. Just give me 1 second here, making sure we go live on every one of our cities. And here you go. That is, there we go. So how this works, I will start with, like I said, having all these best offers right now, just to preempt many of the questions we usually get in the Q&A. This month, it's pretty easy. Scotiabank Gold American Express. We've been talking about it since a couple of weeks now because it's a new offer. It came out, and it's literally one of the best offers we've ever seen for simple points. All banks, all programs, all cards, one of the best. You'll get $825 for free with this deal, and you can redeem those points for literally any travel expense. So you don't have to follow any rules. You don't have to book on a specific website. It's literally the simplest type of rewards you can get. So we have a full deal page for this new deal. Vince will put the link in the comment right as we speak. At any time, if you're looking for a ranking of the best credit cards, that's always up to date. It's flytrippers.com/cards. Or in the top menu under resources, click the first options, credit cards. Or at the top menu, there's also travel rewards. You click there, it'll take you there. So I just saw he put the link there right away. So you can check the details. Actually, Vince, if you can put the link for the deal page as well. So that first link gives you all the details, but we have the landing page with the summary of the deal. So the other link, Vincent, just with deal at the start. It's on the doc there as well. So that will summarize it. Has a little video with a little bit more details, but really for 99% of people right now this month, that's the best deal. It's pretty simple. If for some reason you aren't eligible, and that would be if you've had a Scotiabank card, any Scotiabank card in the past 2 years, you're technically not eligible for that one. The minimum income is pretty low. It's $12,000. The minimum spend requirement is easy to reach because it's over a full year, so everyone can reach it, but you do have that restriction if you've had a Scotiabank card in the past 2 years. Apart from that, the alternative would be the the American Express Gold Rewards Card and Gold Business Card. So those are 2 different cards, but both have extremely high offers right now. No minimum income, and points are more lucrative in the sense that you can get a lot more value out of those points. If you want, they can be simple, but they can also be worth more if you're a little bit flexible. That's what we call reward of the more lucrative type. That's a whole other ball game, but really, really good deals on those cards. And the business version does not require having a business. It's a little counterintuitive, but that's how American Express works. You do have to follow our instructions. So Vince will put the link there. It's a few instructions on how to apply for business cards if you don't actually have an incorporated business. And that one will give you the points much quicker if you want to get the rewards faster. If you want to go like on business class flights, these are the type of points you want. The personal version gives you the points over a longer period, so not as great if you're in a rush, but gives you also 4 lounge passes in Canada only, but still better than nothing. Apart from that, not that it's the best offer, but it's just a new one, so I'll mention it's the BMO Air Miles World Elite MasterCard. It's the best Air Miles offer we've seen in years. Not saying much, but still, if you were waiting for an Air Miles card and for some reason, again, if you're not eligible for this one, maybe it's the Scotia, because if you had a Scotiabank card, BMO, $475 right now. It's decent, honestly. Pretty good bonus. The no fee version of that card actually has one of the best offers we've ever seen for a no fee card, any no fee card. It's $280. So still, again, way better off getting this one with the first year free. It's the same $0 the first year, and you don't have to renew it if you don't see any value in it the second year. But for whatever reason, if you're like the many people who don't get that it makes no sense to keep getting no fee cards, well, the BMO Air Miles no fee card is one of the best right now. Apart from that, if you want just the classics, for whatever, again, I want to reiterate, like for 99% of people this month, if you're due for a welcome bonus, and if you're just a beginner, you haven't gotten in on travel rewards yet, really can't do much better than the Scotiabank to get easy points, a ton of easy points, really easily. But in terms of the classics, just to close out this section, just to give you a little bit of variety, the Aeroplan Amex card. This one gives you a free bag on Air Canada, so a lot of people love to bring too much stuff when they're traveling. So that's a good benefit that can save you a lot of money because it's free bag for you, but also free bag for 8 other people in the same booking. So, and this is a card benefit, so you don't even have to pay for the trip with the card to get the free bag. So, for example, if you booked your flight 6 months ago on Air Canada and you want to save on the bags, well, get the card now. You'll save on the bag fees. Apart from that, I'll just end with the classic premium cards, just to remind you that if you like luxury, if you like luxury or you travel a lot, there are cards that a little less on the welcome bonus side, but a little more on the benefit side. So Aeroplan Reserve card from American Express gives you unlimited access to Air Canada Maple Leaf lounges if you're traveling on Air Canada. So that's a really, really, really good benefit if you are among the many that fly on Air Canada quite often. And if not, if you prefer lounge access worldwide, the American Express Platinum card here is the gold standard, or the platinum standard, I should say, for lounge access, because you get the biggest airport lounge in the world, 1,400 lounges all over the world for you and one guest. Completely unlimited access, so that's an amazing benefit if you're like me, travel a lot. Whereas the previous card was only Air Canada lounges, right? So not quite the same. This one is also the one with automatic hotel elite status with Marriott, the world's biggest chain. It's about 9,000 hotels, and Hilton, one of the other biggest chains with 7,000 hotels or so. So that's great for VIP elite treatment in many, many hotels. Want to keep our promise for the 10 minutes to fit into 10 minutes. So that's pretty much it for the best offers. I will remind you of a few things. If you're new to travel rewards, there's an infographic with the basics of travel rewards. So essentially, yes, it's a bit packed, it's a big infographic, but if you just take 5 minutes to read that, you'll be better than 99% of people at understanding travel rewards. So it's designed to answer 99% of the questions we get from beginners. So if you read that, you'll get almost everything you need to get started and understand the basics. You should also subscribe to our free newsletter specifically on travel rewards if you want to get all the updates, all the best offers, all the tips on how to use points, how to maximize points. That's also completely free, and you should be on there. Maybe you already are, but if you're not, make sure if you're even slightly interested in travel rewards, you should definitely get on that list. And yeah, so just to summarize, because It's August. It's a quieter month on the bonus front. And honestly, it's really simple this month if you're eligible for this one. There are very few scenarios where this is not the best card to get in August right now. $825 for free. Again, that's one of the biggest welcome bonuses for Simple Points. You can apply them whether you book with Air Canada directly, whether you book with a hotel directly, whether you book with a third-party agency. You can book anything you want, apply the points to erase that expense. Super simple. You can actually even use the points for groceries at Sobeys and Safeway and IGA in Quebec and all the Sobeys affiliated grocery stores, which is really rare because usually with rewards you lose value if you use them for anything other than travel. In this case, you can even use it for groceries, same value, $825. It has a great earn rate of 5x or even 6x at Sobeys on groceries. You can buy gift cards over there, and then indirectly you get 5x or 6x on all those places. Has no foreign transaction fees, so you save that 2.5% junk fee that all other cards or almost all other cards charge. Great insurance package, like all the insurance types, travel, medical, trip cancellation, trip interruption, flight delay, the best one. Please ask me about flight delay insurance in the questions period coming up soon. I love to talk about my free hotels and how you should definitely be hoping for your flights to be canceled as well. So that's a great benefit. It's really just, even if you don't look at the welcome bonus, which you never should, but to be clear, you never really should. But if you were to look at just the cards, Scotiabank Gold is one of the top cards in Canada. And now it has its increased bonus, the highest we've seen in 3 years. So it's a great time to either get started with travel rewards, get this card to get Simple Points, or even if you're a pro like me, as you can clearly see, it's always good to have a stash of very easy points that you can apply to almost anything, and especially when the offer is this high. So there we go. I'll invite Vince on the screen here and let him introduce himself. He's our newest team member for Flytrippers.
Hi everyone, Vincent. So I'm new with Flytripper for been a couple of weeks, 2 months now. I'm a little bit addict of travel rewards, every points, everything. I kind of learned that too late in my traveler career. But yeah, so there is nothing to be afraid with that. So I'm really happy to join Flytripper, helping all the crew and helping Andrew to answer all your questions. So let's jump into that right now.
Yeah, so like every month, we do a Q&A. There are 20 or so of you right now. So if you have any questions, we have a few that already came in, so that's great. If you have any other questions, please feel free. Don't be shy. We love to answer them. So let's get started.
All right, let's start with Nicholas. Nicholas is asking about the gift card tricks, if it's work with the Amex Scotia Gold card.
Yep. So, well, it works with any card. That's the short answer. So the only trick for the gift card is, especially if you're going to do it for a big expense, just test it before. Like, it's a slight effort, additional effort, but that's what I would do just to make sure. Like, for example, Canadian Tire, right? I had to buy new tires, $700, so it's a big expense. If I would have gotten with my card directly Canadian Tire, I would have gotten 1 point per dollar, right? Like, no cards have a bonus category at Canadian Tire. So 1 point per dollar, that's just 700 points. Instead, I got my 5X Amex card, went to the convenience store near me that actually codes as a grocery store. So if you're in Quebec, it's Couche-Tard. If you're outside Quebec, Circle K usually codes as groceries. So that's the great part of that Amex network. So they have a bigger assortment. Well, sometimes they have a bigger assortment than grocery stores. So you can buy a Canadian Tire gift card. The grocery store is a safer bet, obviously, and they usually do have Canadian Tire. So you buy a gift card there, do it for a small amount, and you check if you get 5 times the points. And if you do, then you go back and buy the bigger amount. But it works in 99% of the cases. But if you just really want to maximize your chances of not being surprised, you can just go and test it. gift cards are free, right? There's no fee, so there's really no downside. I mean, there's no reason not to test it unless you don't have the time. But yeah. So for example, if you're talking about hardware, I'm guessing it's like Home Depot. I've done that with the Home Depot gift cards. I think there are home hardware gift cards in the Sobeys grocery stores because they're Scene Plus partner programs. So yeah, you should be able to do that trick with that. So for those who don't know the gift card trick, it's really simple. So this card earns 5x at grocery stores. You go to the grocery store, you buy the gift card. So indirectly, you get 5x everywhere else where you can buy, where you can go through those gift cards. But the one caveat is you lose the credit card's extended warranty. So if you're going to do a big expense at a hardware store, if it's something that could be covered by your credit card's extended warranty, might be worth not getting the extra points. Really depends on each traveler's preference. Like for example, I know tires weren't covered by my credit card's extended warranty, so I didn't mind. There was no reason to pay with a credit card. But if, for example, if you're buying electronics, if you're buying some appliance that's covered by the extended warranty, honestly, I wouldn't pay with a gift card just to get 4 times more points because the extended warranty is worth more to me. But that's very personal. Everyone's different. So.
All right. Second question from Edith. About to reach first year anniversary with the RBC Avion. If I want to keep my point until I use them, is the downgrade card the only option?
It's not your only option, but it's your best option because the downgraded card has no fee. And RBC welcome bonus eligibility rules means that by having the no fee card, it won't block you from getting welcome bonuses on other better cards later. So that's the best option. But if you really want the other option is to transfer your points to airline partners. But it's really best not to do that speculatively without having a set redemption in mind. So I would just downgrade would be the best option. Yeah.
And also in the same question, from a transfer that was done before, still missing like $200. So downgrading the card will affect that process or no?
Yeah. So that $100 credit, $200 in your case, travel credit is really tied to the Avion card. So you have to use it before. It's pretty flexible. You can use it on any hotel booking. So like if you're traveling somewhat, you probably have a hotel to book. So you'll be able to assuming you have set dates and all. But yeah, you should use that before because you won't have it if you downgrade the card. You'll lose it.
Question from Crosby. At a Scotialine Visa card for a few years, it's a line of credit. Is it part of disqualify for the bonus from the Scotia Gold right now?
If it's a line of credit, no. I'm not sure what you mean by they issue it as a Visa, because honestly, I don't really use lines of credits. I know just about everything there is to know about credit cards, but lines of credits, I'm trying to look at their website right now. Scotialine seems like a pure line of credit, so it's not a credit card. So I'd say 99% you're okay. What you could do, like, you probably receive, I don't know if you're like me and you keep everything, but if you received your welcome packet when you got that Scotialine Visa line of credit, if it's actually called line of credit and it says nowhere credit card, you're fine. So I'm guessing the Visa is probably just a way for you to access the funds. I'm not sure, but yeah, just make sure the rule is you must not have had a Scotiabank credit card specifically. So if they don't consider that a credit card, like when you go and log into your Scotiabank account, is it under credit cards or is it under line of credit? Because I mean, I don't have a line of credit, so I don't know, but on my Scotiabank account, it says credit cards very clearly, right? And then there's my Scotia Gold right under there. So if yours is not under credit card, you're good.
All right. Question from Remy. Does Scotiabank Amex count toward Amex credit card limits?
Nope, it does not. It's not an American Express credit card, which I know is a bit confusing. You're not the only one to, like, it's normal because American Express is unique as they are a card issuer. They're a bank, Amex Bank, just like Scotiabank and RBC and BMO, and they're a bank, but they're also a payment network like Visa and MasterCard. So like the difference is Visa doesn't issue their own cards. They're not a bank. They just do the network. MasterCard, same thing. So that's the difference. So the Scotiabank Amex card is not an Amex Bank card. It's not an Amex issued card. It's a Scotiabank card. So it's really just the Scotiabank rules. That's the slight little difference. So it does not count towards the Amex card limit. So I'm guessing, Remy, you're a pro, because pros usually have multiple Amex cards, and then there's a 4-card limit, but it's actually not really 4 because a couple of cards don't count towards the total. So, but I won't get into that. But yeah, this one definitely does not count towards that total because it's not an American Express card. It will be managed through your Scotiabank account. You log in at Scotiabank. There's nothing related to American Express other than the logo on it and the network payment where you have to go to somewhere that accepts American Express cards to be able to use it. Otherwise, it's all Scotia.
Laura is asking if there's any credit card that have a partnership with Air France or Flying Blue.
Yeah, well, that depends what you mean by partnership. American Express points can be transferred to Flying Blue, which is the program, the rewards program for both Air France, KLM, and a couple of other airlines. That's the best way to get a lot of Flying Blue points because there are 15 welcome bonuses with American Express cards that you can get with huge amounts. There is also an Air France card issued by Brim, not the best of banks, little quirks. It's a small bank, but right now has no welcome bonus, like 0. So it's not a great time to get it. But if I'm sure they will eventually have a welcome bonus again, we'll add it to our ranking like we do with all cards, and we'll tell you about it. But right now it's 0, so not a great time to get it. But it does offer elite XPs. So if you're familiar with Flying Blue Elite status, that could be interesting. But I'd still wait for unless you really care about elite status, I would look at the welcome bonus more than the XPs. But yeah, that's the 2 options you have in Canada. And you skipped one, Joanne. Did you need to join the hotel loyalty program to get the elite status? So I'm guessing you're talking about the platinum card giving you elite status at hotel chains. Yes, you have to just create an account. It's free. You do it in 3 minutes online. So create a Marriott account, create a Hilton account. Then when you get the platinum card, you'll link that and be able to get your elite status automatically. But the elite status is within the hotel loyalty program, so you can't get it if you don't have an account. It's really the program that offers that. Platinum card just gives you that for free and without you having to qualify by staying many, many nights in a hotel. So it's just a shortcut, basically.
Mary is asking, do you have to pay the full fare on one credit card to get the insurance, like the coverage of a free hotel or food if the flight is canceled? Because she paying half of the fare with points and the other one on the credit card.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, the short answer is yes. But I'm guessing you're talking about Aeroplan points. Just statistically, we're in Canada, so most people have a lot of Aeroplan points. So if you pay for an Aeroplan redemption and charge the taxes to Aeroplan, to your Aeroplan card, you're covered. So basically, you're covered if the credit card you use is actually linked to that program, for example. So if you have an Aeroplan redemption, pay with your Aeroplan card that has insurance, you're covered. Same thing, WestJet, there's WestJet rewards. If you pay with the WestJet card, you're good. RBC, British Airways, Avios, if you pay with that card, you're covered with their card's insurance. But if you use bank points, same thing. So yeah, the only issue is where you use a program points and charge the cash to a different card. I don't know if I'm trying to make this simple. Insurance is sometimes complicated, so I'll try to summarize this again. If you redeem points and you charge the taxes to the same program's card, you're good, you're covered. If you pay for all cash, that's obviously always covered. If you pay for points from program X and then charge it to a card from another program, that's the only situation where you're not covered. If that's not clear, ask a follow-up and I'll try and do it better. But yeah, I think that's the simplest way I can put it. And I'll take this opportunity to, I get to decide. So I'll take that as an opportunity to tell you about those free hotels and food when their flights are canceled, because I wanted to talk about it. So this is literally the most simple tip, and it sucks that so many people don't know about it, because it's such an easy way to get free food and free hotels, most importantly, whenever your flight is canceled or delayed. So I don't know about you, you've probably seen this on the news. Like every time there's a major storm or a major IT outage, like 2 weeks ago, or anything really, then you see in the news like, oh, the airline didn't give me a hotel, boo hoo hoo, I'm so special and I should have gotten that. If they only had paid with a good credit card, they would get the hotel for free. You don't even have to wait and beg the airline. You just book any hotel, go to the hotel, that's it. Book a nice expensive hotel too, because you'll earn points on it and the insurance is going to refund you anyways. So yeah, that's great. I've used it 12 times, 12 or 13, not sure. Got to update my count there. Every time they always refunded me. It's very simple, very straight. It takes like 5 minutes to do the claim online. You never have to speak to any human, just the way I like it. It's marvelous, but so many people don't know about it. Every time you pay for a flight, always use a card that has flight delay insurance. So yeah, that's really basic tip. If you didn't know, now you do. So pay for that card and hope for your flights to be canceled. So that way you can go to a nice hotel and you'll earn points for your future night because you're earning points by paying in cash and getting the insurance to refund you.
And next question from Luc. Ex-HSBC Avion card has a $100 yearly reimbursement for travel, but can it be applied for seat cost reservation? Is it done through Avion Rewards app?
First, it is not a $100 yearly reimbursement. It's a one-time goodwill gesture they did for former HSBC World Elite MasterCard holders. So it's not yearly. It's one time and then it's over. So that's the first thing. Second thing is no, you cannot apply it to seat cost reservation. You can only apply it through Avion reward bookings. So if it's been a while, so let me just make sure. It's hotels for sure, and I think car rentals. Let me just check our article on the subject, and I will put the link in the comments as well while I do that. We have a full post about all the details of this transition. Here it is in the comments, and while I peruse this, travel credit. Okay, so you can use it on a hotel or a car rental, and that's it. That's the two options. Booked through Avion. It has to be $200, and you'll get $100 off.
Question from Mark. He just canceled his RBC card, old HSBC. He previously got the RBC Avion. Can he reapply right away to get the bonus to transfer to Avios?
Yeah, because he does say he got 240,000 points. It's good to mention that, just so those who are here and might not think that's easy to get points. It really is. 240,000. That's a lot of free flights. So very easy to do in 6 months like he did. The key is welcome bonuses, like we keep repeating, and like you saw or will see if you read our infographic with the basics. So yeah, you actually didn't even have to cancel the card. This is RBC's the most lenient bank. So the current welcome bonus on RBC Avion doesn't even require you to not have the card, so you can apply for it even if you already have it, which is very rare. Not many banks allow you to get multiples of the same card, but RBC in this case is one. But yeah, It's always written on our card page. So if you click on our ranking, again, flytroopers.com/cards, or our top menu at any time under resources, credit cards, you end up on our ranking, has all the best offers right now. If you click on any card, you'll see welcome bonus eligibility. It's right there at the top in the key summary, that big table at the beginning with the very key information. It says clearly, must not have had this card for 12 months, or must not currently have this card, or must not have had this card for 2 years. Whatever it is, it varies, but in this case for RBC, it's actually, there's no restriction. So you can get it because the welcome bonus is at its lowest right now. It's just 35,000 points. Usually it's 55. So they don't care for, they don't mind if you get another one just because the bonus doesn't cost them as much. So
we have a sub question from Nicholas about the American Express Gold Scotia card. Does the gift cards also work with the prepaid Visa?
I will answer with one image that is just happens to be the ones that are here on my office here on my desk. So yeah, you can buy prepaid Visa or MasterCard. There are a couple differences. So I do it all the time. So that's and Vince, you can put the link to the gift card article. So
yeah, it was there from the first question that Nicola asked.
Oh, you already have. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because that has more details. Because I can't spend 10 minutes on every topic here because we want to answer everyone's questions. But the difference is obviously prepaid cards have fees. If you're using a Scotiabank Gold or an American Express Cobalt or an MBNA Rewards World Elite, the cards that earn 5 points per dollar, it makes sense to pay the fee. It's just about doing the math. Very important. One of the 6 most important things in the world of travel rewards in that infographic. Doing the math, very important, and you'll see that it's way, way worth it. You have to buy $500 cards though, because you're splitting that activation fee over 500 instead of over 200, because that's the basic math. Like you have to buy the $500 card. Again, you'll lose your card's extended warranty, so that's the same as gift cards. What was the other difference I wanted to mention? Oh yeah, well, it's not a difference, but yeah, just a quick way to earn way more points at Costco. So why do I have these MasterCards? No secret, it's for Costco, because 5x with my Cobalt at the grocery store or convenience store that codes, some convenience stores codes as groceries, like I said. And then you buy this, you use this at Costco, and there you go. You get not quite 5x because there's that fee. It brings it down by about 1.5%. So even if you're using at the basic redemption level, it's still 3.5% at Costco, which is 3.5% more, 3.5 times more than their own shitty card. Pardon my French. So that's a great way for Costco, again, assuming you don't need the extended warranty for electronics or other things like that. One thing I would be careful with is doing buying only gift cards or prepaid cards that banks won't like. They can't know what you buy at grocery stores, but if you're always buying a round number, 500.00 or 500 plus the activation fee, and you're buying nothing else, that's not good. So I've been doing it for years, and I buy other things with my card, so it's fine. But if you just do that, you might get into trouble. So just make sure to use your card for other stuff. And when you do buy gift cards, buy any other item just to make sure it's not that round amount that they know is a gift card or a prepaid card.
Louise is asking, do we have a comparative chart to see which instance is better for each use for card? Example, use the Amex Bonvoy if you prefer luggage loss insurance, or use the Scotiabank if you prefer delay insurance, or other kind of card for different purchases.
Yeah, well, the simplest way is actually the way that's most lucrative as well, is there are 2 things. You're talking about insurance, but you also mentioned about grocery purchases and all that. For your purchases, the key is just getting a new welcome bonus, using your spend to unlock that welcome bonus, and once you're done, repeat. Really that simple. That way you never have to ask, oh, should I use this one? Should I use this one? Get a new one, get a huge welcome bonus, improve your credit score, get more benefits, get more insurance, and just use that one for 3 months. And once you're done, you get another one. That's the simplest way. If you really don't want to maximize, well, then you can compare your cards. We can't compare them because there are 200 cards. Like, we don't know which ones you have. So, like, if you have only 3 or 4, because if you're doing this, you're probably not having. I mean, not to mean this like negatively, but I mean, if you're not using your expenses to unlock welcome bonus like you should, you probably don't have 10 cards. So you just have 3 or 4, compare those for all the categories. And again, that's why the simplest way is to get more bonuses, and that's the best way to get more rewards. As for insurance, all the credit cards are pretty similar. I've lost exactly 0 seconds of my life looking at which one has better flight delay. They're very similar. Well, the one difference is usually MasterCards require a 6-hour delay instead of a 4-hour delay to be for the insurance to kick in. That's really the main difference. It could make a difference for meals because 4-hour delays you can at least get the meals. But like if you're gonna need a hotel, it's gonna be overnight. It's gonna be over 6 hours anyways, so it doesn't really change anything for that. Same thing, luggage loss. Well, I only travel on carry-on because I'm a pro flyer, so never need that insurance. But they're pretty similar. That one is actually, you could probably check like it should be just a basic step of when you're deciding which card to use to pay for your flight. Again, there are 200 in Canada. You probably only have 3 or 4, so just check the certificates of insurance because there's so many details, and we don't have anything to compare those right now. Maybe one day, but it's not very high on the priority list because again, they're very similar. So maybe that's your question, was maybe from that misconception that like if the card has like baggage loss insurance, it has flight delay insurance too, like in 99.9% of the cases. So like they all have the same. The ones that are less frequent is trip cancellation and trip interruption. So you should always pay your flights with one that has that if you have one of those cards. But apart from that, the coverage itself is very similar from one card to the other. The accepted is premium cards. So like the 2 I mentioned in the intro, actually, the Platinum and American Express Reserve. These two give you $1,000 for hotels instead of $500 when there's a delay and cancellation. That's amazing. So I always try, if I'm not using points and not unlocking a bonus, I try to use this one to get $1,000 because I've had great hotel stays with $1,000 instead of $500. And I will again, because you can see I really want to talk about this, but just to give you another point, I'm the same as I'm sure you're feeling. Like the first time I use this insurance, it's like, oh damn, I'm scared they won't refund me, so I'm just gonna take like a $300 room just to not exaggerate. They do not care. You are entitled to $1,000 if your flight is delayed for 4 hours. That's it. That's what's written. So if you book a $700 hotel, they will refund you. That's what the certificate of insurance says. So yeah, at first I was a little scared, and then now I even booked a hotel during the day. My flight was supposed to leave at 8 a.m. was delayed to 4 p.m. I was like, well, heck, I'll get a hotel, earn a ton of points, go and chill in the hotel room, work from there instead of the lounge. Obviously, I ate at the lounge before going to the hotel. I'm cheap like that, But and then I earned a ton of points in that hotel because I reread the certificate of insurance. Nowhere does it say that you need to be overnight to get a hotel. It says if your flight is delayed for 4 hours, you get $1,000. It's that. That's it, right? So, just another fun fact with these delay insurance coverages.
Next question from Barb. She applied and she's going to receive the American Express Business Gold Reward card on August 15. She wants to use it to pay for the rest of the cruise balance she have. Can she delay the registration of the card till September so she can use all the points?
Nope, unfortunately, you cannot. So you can apply all those points. I'm guessing you mean you could apply. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Apply the points to offset your expense, or apply the points to unlock the bonus. If you're still there, if you can clarify, is it to use the expense to unlock the bonus, hit the minimum spend, or to actually use the points? And we'll get back to you when you answer that. We can do the next one in the meantime.
A question from Raul. Just received an upgrade offer from Amex Gold to Platinum. 80K and Marriott point?
No, membership rewards.
Membership, yeah.
In French, it's a different name, yeah.
Can I downgrade back to the gold once minimum spend is met?
It's generally not recommended, especially with Amex. Like, they have 15 amazing cards. Well, 15, most of them are amazing, with huge welcome bonuses. Don't compromise your relationship with Amex just to save whatever you're trying to save. Like, if you get a card, get it for the full year. That's the deal. They give you points for a full year. Reevaluate at the end of the year. That's fine, but don't ever cancel, downgrade, or change within the first year. Just make sure you wait until the actual year ends. But then at that point, yeah, I think you can downgrade, but worst case, you could just apply for a new one if they don't let you downgrade. But yeah, you can get back to Amex Gold. You'll just have to pay one annual fee, basically. So 80K points, is that better than the current offer? Let me just check, because that's the one thing with upgrade offers. Some banks offer them, others don't. Sometimes they're not as good. Okay, so in this case, it's 70,000 public offers. So if they're offering you 80, it's actually good. The spend 6,000 is good. So yeah, that's a good offer for the platinum if you want the platinum, but stick with it for a full year. You pay the annual fee for 1 year, and then you can decide at the end of the year if it's worth keeping. But don't try to game Amex. They're the last ones you want to game with, honestly.
And Isabel is asking if she can use the Scotia Gold at other grocery store than IGA.
Yeah, well, why we specify IGA is that you actually earn 6 points per dollar at IGA in Quebec and Sobeys, Safeway, Thrifty Foods outside of Quebec. So it has an increased accelerator, multiplier that's higher for those grocery stores specifically because Scene Plus is their own program. But at other grocery stores, you'll earn 5 points per dollar, which is still pretty amazing, but less than 6, obviously. But just keep in mind that Loblaws affiliated stores do not accept American Express cards. So that's not a Scotia issue. It's the all American Express cards, like whether it's the Cobalt or, yeah, basically that's the only other card you'd want to use at grocery store, Cobalt or Scotia Gold. As American Express cards, you cannot use them at Loblaws, Maxi in Quebec, No Frills in Ontario. All of those Loblaw affiliated Superstore, everywhere else, all those brands, you cannot use American Express cards. Well, you can if you just buy prepaid MasterCard, prepaid Visa, but it lowers your earn rate a little bit. But it's doable and helps you reach the minimum spend, so it could be worth it.
Lynn is asking if there's an exception on the MasterCard World Elite for
National
the insurance.
Bank. Yeah, true. Yeah, so that's the only one in Canada that actually covers partial payment. So it's really good for, let's say you're using Avios points and don't have the British Airways card, or using Flying Blue cards and don't have the Air France card. That's the exception.
Catherine is asking what is the best current MasterCard?
I would say the BMO that I talked about earlier. WestJet card's actually a bit like a couple dollars more, but the BMO is just like so rarely increased that's the one I'd recommend. So BMO Air Miles World Elite MasterCard has the highest Air Miles welcome bonus we've seen in years. So it's like $475. You also get a one-time annual discount of 25% on a flight redemption. So that could be worth $100, 75, $100 if you book a flight with your Air Miles that you get from the welcome bonus. Also has great insurance. So it's a pretty solid offer. And again, just because like in terms of being strategic, it's one of the rare times that this card has had an increased offer. What I would add though is, again, there's really no reason to get it over the Scotiabank Gold card unless you're not eligible for this one, because 800 is a lot more than 475. And if it's to use at Costco, well, again, just buy a prepaid card with Scotia at the grocery store. use that at Costco, and you're good, unless it's for something you need the insurance for.
Louise is asking about the $100 RBC former HSBC. Can it be applied retroactively on a monthly statement that she already paid, example, in July?
Yeah, it's not like HSBC. It's not like other travel credits. It's really not very flexible. It's you have to book a hotel or a car rental through RBC Travel. That's it. You can't do anything else. And so you have to do it now. You can't do it on a previous booking. It's really automatic. If you have to go into RBC offers, activate the offer, and it'll apply automatically to your next booking of $200. We'll do a step-by-step because we've had a couple of questions about this. So just to clarify, it's really not complicated like anything else, but you have to know where to go and all that. So we'll show you. It's automatic, but it has to be a new booking of $200, and you have to activate the offer before, not after you make the booking.
Joanne is asking if you buy a large item, which give with the card that give you the extended warranty, then cancel the card. Do you lose that warranty?
Yes, that's the whole point, because you don't have the card anymore, so you don't have the benefits anymore. So that's why it's really, really good to have a couple of cards that you keep in your wallet every year that have that extended warranty, whether it's your oldest card or whether it's one of the 5X cards. Like, for example, one we haven't talked a lot about because the welcome bonus is lower, actually can be an alternative for Catherine, who's asking about the best MasterCard. If you want to put the link, it's MBNA World Elite MBNA Rewards World Elite MasterCard. It's another of those 5X cards. So it earns 5 points per dollar at grocery stores. It's a MasterCard, so you can use it at Loblaws, Superstore, and all those places, Maxi, Provigo, all those places. And it has that extended warranty, so it's a really good keeper card. You can charge everything at Costco that you want the extended warranty on, and you'll keep that card forever. Again, since it earns 5X, it's one of the best you can keep. We'll also do a post about no-fee cards that have that insurance. If you want to put one right away, it makes sense. The Rogers World Elite MasterCard. Again, World Elite means you have to have a higher income, but if you do, that's one of the best no-fee cards in Canada. You should never apply for no-fee cards that have no bonuses alone. But the same day you apply for a good card, you can add that application because there's no welcome bonus, there's no minimum spend. So you can add to the same calendar day. Very important. So Rogers World Elite MasterCard, one of the best no-fee cards, so that way you'll have the extended warranty forever.
I'm looking for the link. By the meantime, Luke is asking that you got the RBC Avion card ahead of the HSBC conversion to get the point, and now you have 2 Avion card, but also 2 rewards account. Can they be merged at the RBC?
Yep, very easily. I think we do a post about that. I feel like I wrote that, so let me write a lot of them. So let me just might be written but not published yet. I think that's what it is. Yeah, so I think it's in the queue, so coming soon. But yeah, it's really easy. Again, I don't want to seem belittling or anything, but like for everyone, you're starting the travel rewards world, everything or almost can be done online on the reward program's website. There aren't 20,000 options on their website. So if you just play around a little bit, you'll figure it out. But in this case, I think RBC, you go under rewards, you under transfer, convert, or combine, and then you'll be able to combine them in like literally 3 clicks. We have this whole step-by-step with screenshots to help you. It's coming. We'll always want to try to help you. But like in the meantime, it's not that hard to figure out if you just take a little bit of time to play around the programs, because almost everything can be done online. In this case, it can. So again, I think under rewards, combine, and then you'll just combine the points together. It's really, really simple. So you'll be able to have them all in one place.
So quickly, Barb, from the question earlier, qualified that she want to maybe postpone the registration for the card to unlock the bonus.
That's what I thought. So no, you cannot, because, well, first of all, you cannot we can never change that. Once you've applied, the process has been initiated. There's no stopping. There's no changing anything. So unfortunately, you cannot. And the other thing is, anyways, the card. Just to be very clear, because it's a very common misconception, you're not the only one. The 3 months to start your minimum spend timeline is not when you receive the card. It's not when you activate the card. It's when you are approved. Very, very common misconception. And this is in our checklist that everyone should follow. And in the 6 steps on our basic infographic, Vincent will put the link for the checklist. You should always simply follow this checklist every time you're applying for a new card. That way you'll avoid common mistakes. And in there it does say, like, just about, you're really not the one. If we poll 100 people, I think 95% of people would say, yeah, it's when I activate it, that's when it starts. It's not. It's when you are approved. That's all they care about. You can activate it 3 months later. They don't care. You'll just not get the welcome bonus, and they'll save $500 or $900 in this case. It's really, once you're approved, that's when the clock starts ticking. So you actually get a little less than 3 months because you have to wait till you actually receive the card. So it's 3 months minus a week maybe. So yeah, that's the unfortunate part of that. So it's a good idea, just as a learning for everyone, when you have big expenses coming up, it's always good to make sure to time that so that you can use that to unlock a welcome bonus. So in this case, you could have waited a little bit to get the card, or it's still not too late to maybe get one early November and then use that one to unlock the bonus. That's what I'd recommend given the situation. So early November, check our website for the best deals of the month of November and get another one so that you can use that one on November 22nd to pay and get one welcome bonus very easily with that expense.
Marilyn, not sure about the question, but I'm pretty sure it's about the insurance, that the money is different from the cancellation, and some of them have a cell phone cover and medical cover that we're talking a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well, medical, just to be very clear, medical, you do not need to pay for the trip with your card. That's another very common mistake. This one, if we would poll 100 people, 100 people would say, yeah, you have to pay your trip with the card, of course. No, you do not, okay? Again, very counterintuitive world, very confusing, but still, medical, as long as you have the card, you're covered. So you don't have to look at which one has. You have to look to know if you're covered. Like, if you've got the Scotia Gold, for example, it's 25 days. So as long as you know this one has 25 days, as long as your trip is under 25 days, you're good. You don't have to pay anything with this card. It's medical insurance, completely separate from other works, completely different. So that's one thing. So number of days and all that, that's good. And then, like I said, it's really just the basics of when you're paying for really anything, you have to decide which is the best card to do. So if you're paying for mobile phone, well, yeah, you have to look at whether the card has mobile phone insurance. Not all of them do. It's one of the types of coverage that's not as widespread. So yes, if you're paying for a phone, make sure to check if you have insurance. And after that, for cancellation, again, trip cancellation, very similar from one to the other. But yeah, if you want to make sure, you can compare. But I mean, if you're not paying, again, it kind of depends. Like we get so many questions about people like, oh, I spent $5,000 on this trip, and I'm like, I've never spent $5,000 on a trip, and I've traveled literally 10 times a year. So maybe you should rethink that whole thing. But that's just me. But if you do pay for a huge expense because that's the way you travel, that's fine. But then at that point, yes, check if the cancellation insurance is high enough to cover the whole trip. Because basic baseline, I think, is always like $2,500. I think all the cards have $2,500. I've literally never even came close to spending that on a trip. So I'm never worried about the limit. But if you spend more, then yeah, check the insurance precisely, as you should for any expense if you want to be sure, because they vary one card to the other, of course.
Next question from Courtney. Courtney renew our Aeroplan Infinite Green Bank cards to get the renewal bonus. How long does she need to keep the cards after to keep the bonus?
Yeah, so with any card, think of it again. We're in the Olympics right now, so it's a great time to use this analogy we've been using for 7 years. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so I can't see your picture, Courtney, because the small profile pics on Facebook are really small on my screen. But unless you're 89, you're probably going to be traveling and doing this for a long time. You don't want to compromise a relationship with any bank. We don't have that many banks in Canada, so TD has great welcome bonuses. They offer great welcome bonuses. You do not want to ruin your relationship with them by canceling a card after unlocking a welcome bonus. That's a big no-no. You get a welcome bonus. That deal is they give you a ton of points. You keep the card for a year. That's it. After the year, of course, you can do whatever you want, but you keep it for a year. Same thing for a renewal bonus, because it's the same principle. They give you the renewal bonus to offset that annual fee. There's no reason to cancel it faster unless you don't care about your relationship with that bank, but I would highly recommend against it.
Next question from Tommy. I know you find the answer, but maybe the answer can help other. He's asking if you book an hotel in Boston, because right now the prices are a little bit crazy. Can you use the portal to pay for that expense? Make sure like you have the point to pay for it. But Tommy, find the answer in our guide, but maybe it can help others.
Yeah, well, the Scotiabank Gold's points, Scene Plus points, are literally the easiest, the most flexible points. You can actually erase an expense up to 12 months later. That's, again, I can't stress this enough. The easiest, simplest points, most flexible, 12 months. Like, that's a long time. So if you would book a hotel today and forget about it, and 12 months from now, you could still use your points and offset that expense. So it's really, really flexible. It's the most flexible. So yeah, don't know what's going on, but yeah, Boston, US, North America, terrible prices these days. So yeah, not surprised, but Boston's pretty cool. So yeah. But yeah, you can use your points for that easily on the Scotiabank Scene Plus website. We have a step-by-step. I think you put the link. That's what you're saying, Vance?
Actually, Tommy put the link for me.
Oh, okay, cool.
He found his answer on the
link.
Okay, cool. Tommy is asking if he can merge his St. Plus account with his girlfriend account.
That you cannot do, unfortunately. But again, the points are so flexible that you don't really need to. For example, let's say you want to book. Okay, we're talking about bonuses of $825 for this card. You're talking about Boston. So let's say you want to book 4 nights with, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but no, let's say you're booking 4 nights. You can, instead of merging to pay your 4 nights, you can just book 2 nights with your points and then book the same hotel with her points. And there you go. You get those same 4 nights. They won't make you change rooms. You just tell them when you check in, hey, we booked 2 separate ones. They'll let you keep the same room, 3 nights. I was talking about bonuses though. I was talking about both bookings. So if you get the Scene Plus card, she gets the Scene Plus cards. You should get 4 nights, right, or 6 nights, maybe if that's what you mean. But yeah, so you can just split the booking. They'll let you keep the same room, and you'll find a way around the no merging rule.
Sarah is asking, does the Amex Gold give you free Dragon Pass for free airport lounge?
Okay, well, first, just to be very clear, and this is a common thing, but you're not the only one, but I will show you an example that is very help you understand this. So this is Scotiabank Gold at the top. Scotiabank Gold American Express card. In the middle, it's American Express Gold Rewards card. And at the bottom, it's American Express Business Gold Rewards. So these are 3 cards. They all have gold, and they all have American Express in their name. So just to clarify, because in this case, you said Amex Gold. It's not the Scotiabank, but I'm assuming you're talking about the Scotiabank. So Scotiabank has no free lounges, okay? So it does give you a free membership, but that's useless Like, get another card for free lounges. Next time you apply for a card in 3 months, just get another one. You'll get your free lounges. This one you really get for the $825 bonus. That's the reason to get it, not for lounges. If you're really talking about Amex Gold, this one actually has 4 lounge passes, but it's only in Canada, so a little bit more restrictive, but still better than nothing. And the Amex Gold Business actually has no lounges. So again, like, every card is different, but yeah, that's the short version of the lounge situation with the gold cards.
Question from Joanna. Is the credit rating linked to the bank or to MasterCard?
To be very specific, it's actually neither. It's tied to the credit bureau. So Equifax or TransUnion in Canada, and every bank has a different, like, not all banks use Equifax, not all banks use TransUnion. It's half and half, right? So that's how that works. But it's certainly not MasterCard. Like, MasterCard has nothing to do with that, and the bank doesn't either. But the bank actually can have stricter requirements, right? So, like, they all look at your credit score, obviously, but some banks could be a little tighter on debt ratio, for example, or like that. They have their own proprietary rules. They don't say what they are publicly. So in general, if you always pay everything on time, keep your oldest cards open, which is a very common mistake. People close that. You can downgrade them to no fee version. If you have, like, the RBC Avion, you've had it for 20 years, don't close it. Keep it as an RBC Ion card, no fee. So that way you keep the history, which is good for your credit score, and no longer have to pay the fee. But yeah, if you pay everything on time, have your old cards open, and space out your card application days by at least 2-3 months, you'll have a great credit score and you'll be approved for almost everything. At some point, if you're like me, and again, don't want to scare you, marathon, not a sprint. If you're not experienced, you don't have to apply for 10 cards a year, but I apply for 10 or more cards a year. And I have a great credit score, but sometimes, yeah, they just don't like me having applied for that many cards. So at some point you can be declined. It's not the end of the world. You just move on to the next one. But that's more like very bank specific, not MasterCard. MasterCard is literally just a payment network. They just make sure that the bank connects you and the merchant and all that. They don't do credit scores.
Then question from Catherine. Catherine already have the Amex Cobalt card, and she need a new Amex card with point to transfer to Aeroplan. She will have a lot of expenses over 15,000 soon. Is the Scotia Gold Amex the best offer right now, or is there other Amex card with higher spending?
Yeah, this is kind of what I was mentioning earlier. This is not an Amex card. Despite this logo saying literally American Express, it's not issued by Amex Bank, so it's not Amex points. So you cannot transfer these to Aeroplan. So these are not for you if you want Aeroplan points. 15,000 is a big expense, so it could be a good opportunity to get the Platinum card if you want unlimited lounge access, if you care about that, if you're going to be traveling this year. If you're not going to be traveling this year, it's a little bit of a waste because it's a once-in-a-lifetime bonus with Amex. So, but yeah, that's one. Again, you can get multiple cards too. Right now, the Amex Gold Rewards is not great because this minimum spend is spread out over many months, so it's not great. Amex Business Gold might actually be your better option. If you can spend $5,000 on this, again, everyone can get a business card from American Express even without a incorporated business. You do, however, have to follow our simple steps in that post, but that could be a quick $5,000 that you can put on this one, and you'll get a ton of points for Aeroplan. Amex Business Edge, you want to put the link, another one that actually has a pretty nice bonus. Again, $5,000 you need to spend for that one. You can hit those two. Amex is the only bank that you actually can apply for 2 cards at the same time. I've never done it for 2 business cards though, so worst case they approve just one at a time. But yeah, apart from Platinum, those are the 2 options that have a huge welcome bonus. Or if you prefer Air Canada lounge access, you have the premium cards like American Express Reserve, Aeroplan Reserve, or TD Visa Infinite privilege if you have a higher income, much higher though. So those are two options for bigger spends. But yeah, that's pretty much it right now for Aeroplan.
Susan is asking, she wants to get rid of her Avion card because of the fees, but can't seem to use up all my points travel. What should I do?
You can downgrade it to the no fee version and you keep your points. It's always the simplest way. Yeah, so just call, or actually you can do it online with RBC, one of the rare ones. So you go to the RBC website. I think it's called product switch or change product or change card in the right side menu. You change it to RBC Ion. You don't even have to talk to a human, and you'll get your points parked there, and you can use them whenever you're ready. The key will be to apply for Avion card later so that you can reuse them as the full version where you'll be able to retransfer them to partners if that's what you want to do. But that's only if you want the best value for your points.
Question from Mark. Mark don't understand how spending $5,000 extra on the Scotia Amex Gold can be worth more instead of spending that $5,000 to unlock better bonds.
Well, it depends on, a lot of people. I mean, the 5,000 gives you 25,000 points if you use it at 5x plus the 20 of the bonus. So it's pretty good. It's 45,000. So I mean, for most people, they want simple points, especially if they're getting started. It's great. But even for pros, I mean, it's an easy bonus. It's always good to have those flexible points on top of other points. So yeah, strictly speaking, you can get a bigger bonus by getting a Amex card for sure. But for most people, it's actually pretty good for simple points. But yeah, you could get more with Amex, Business Edge, Business Gold for sure. But others, I mean, right now it's pretty standard. So right now for August, it's a good way to spend and get a decent return.
And then we have a question from Paul. Is it possible to merge my RBC Avion previously HSBC with my RBC Avion received before the rollover?
If you mean cards, you can never merge cards. That's not a thing. The points you can merge very easily with RBC. So you can go RBC Avion. I mean, there aren't 20,000 options. So look at the menu. I think it's rewards, and then you click on combine or transfer or whatever it's called. I mean, again, spend a little bit of time there. You'll find it quickly if you don't want to wait. If you wait, we'll do a step-by-step and make it really easy for everyone. But yeah, you can find it there, and you can combine your points, and then you can cancel one of the cards if you don't want to keep it, but you can't merge cards ever. You can merge points, not cards. So I think we've gotten to the end of the questions. We're a little over time, but like last chance, if anyone has a question, glad to answer it. Anything about points? If not, well, tomorrow night, if you think about it a little bit, read our infographic tomorrow, and then have more questions. And something pops up, come back tomorrow night. We'll have more chances to answer your questions. Same time, 9 p.m., same place. But yeah, so I don't see any more questions. So thanks for taking the time. It was our pleasure to share the best deals of the month and answer your questions. And we do this every month to help you out for that. Every single time that you're due for a welcome bonus or need a new card, you can come and we'll help you decide. If not, flytrippers.com/cards. You have all our most up-to-date ranking with all the cards there. And our newsletter, I would highly recommend signing up for that so that you can get all our posts, all our content, all our tips to maximize your points. And well, actually, that's the perfect segue for the last question, Luke. So I always miss the 30% conversion to Avios. How do I keep informed? You subscribe to our newsletter and you open them, because if you don't open them, well, you won't see it anyways. But Like, for example, this last one was in May, I think. So we sent that to our newsletter to get 30% more bonus, a 30% bonus on RBC Avion to British Airways. That is an excellent, excellent bonus. So just to give you an example, because this one thing to close out this video, because one thing we want to talk more about is business class and luxury hotels, because we personally, we recommend traveling more. So that's what we want to do. That's what we try to do. I travel 10 times a year. You can too if you want to. It's really just a question of putting some time into travel rewards very easily. You can get twice the trips with economy class flights and budget hotels. Well, they're not really budget hotels, but normal hotels and economy class. But a lot of people don't want to travel more or can't or whatever. So you can actually always fly in business class very easily if you want to. If you're just traveling 2 or 3 times a year, like there's literally no reason to not be flying business class. It's so easy. There's so many points. You can do that. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And that transfer bonus is a great example. So for example, let's say you have 50,000 RBC Avion points. Most people will sadly use that for a $500 discount on flights, 1 cent per point. That's the basic, very basic use. So low value, $500. That same 50,000 points I transferred during a 30% bonus, so that gave me 70,000 Avios points, and I booked a $3,000 business class flight in the world's best business class. That was worth, again, $3,000. So 500 or 3,000. That's just to show you the extreme range if you want to get into travel rewards for business class. Maybe that's the last link you could put inside the testimonial we shared last week about business class. Just to give you an example, that's one thing we'll keep talking about, traveling for less. That's our main focus, but we'll travel for less with luxury as well, so that everyone can find great tips. And in terms of business class, there's really no better way to use points if you want to maximize their value. So that is coming soon. So that bonus is only offered once a year usually. So the last one was in May, so might not happen for another 10 months or so, but hopefully maybe they bring it back sooner. We'll tell you about it in our newsletter on our website. And on that note, well, I did see a couple. Please repeat where you see information on card rules. On our cards ranking, if you click on any cards, you can see at the top there's a big summary table, has a section on the left that says welcome bonus eligibility. So you'll see exactly what the rules are for every card. And so when Nina said, as this segment documented, yes, we'll send the replay link on our newsletter as well in the coming days. And yeah, I think that covers it. So thank you, and thanks, Vincent. It was his first Facebook Live video with us since he's joined the team. So we hope to see you all next month or tomorrow night if you want to join us faster. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Have a great evening.